I've always been drawn to music. Growing up, I think I was fortunate enough to be exposed to quite a wide range of music, and I found it was always something really that I wanted to be a part of, whether it was playing in church or school bands or hearing my sisters practice piano or whatever my parents were listening to on road trips. I loved how music could just move people. Growing up in Cape Town, you find there's such a rich history of music, and it's something that is really embedded in our culture. I think especially it's such a doorway to the stories and the history of our country. As I started to get caught up more with music and actually started practicing more in high school, playing became more enjoyable. It's easy to get excited with new sounds and new ideas that come up. You start to understand more what you're playing, and I started to be able to just put more of myself into it. And as you start to get over more of the technicalities of the instrument, the more freedom you have to play. Jazz seemed to really catch my eye, as it seemed like there was something more to it, and it was something where you could really see the communication happening. And I find it's an art form that really pushes you to grow as an individual while still retaining your responsibility in a group. It's something that asks you to be a part of something bigger than yourself. When I started studying, I was fortunate enough to start working with some musicians who were already making and performing their own music, and it's a really inspiring thing being around these people and working with them and watching them take on this task of sharing and putting out their own music. Thinking of my inspirations as a musician, I think it's often that we have all these fears and doubts of whether you're good enough and whether your music is good enough and all that, but what you often don't realize is just the direct impact that you might be having on the people around you. For me, writing music became more of a way of exploring ideas or whatever I was thinking about or going through. I'd often sit at the piano and try and come up with ideas of songs, and also, not really being a pianist, my technical ability would often fall short of whatever sound I was hearing and trying to get. Being at college was an amazing opportunity, being surrounded by such talented musicians who are also just as keen to create and try out ideas, while also you're surrounded by this wealth of knowledge. I was really drawn to arranging and harmony and the structures in music. What I found in that is that it really helped me to communicate those sounds that I was hearing to others much easier. The songs in this album I see more as a collection of stories and kind of just things that I've dealt with and experiences I've had. Composing became a way for me to help make sense of a lot of things, because I find when you're composing, you're really trying to find the most honest way to represent how something makes you feel. And I found that can also act as a marker for that time in your life, to look back and see where you were really. It's also a really beautiful thing because everyone experiences things differently, yet often we can all find that there's a song that someone has written which you can really relate to, and it's something that you can identify with. Music is communication. It's a story or a feeling, and it's something that's always embedded with meaning. And as humans, I think that's something that we all search for. The first song on the album is called Hopre, and it's exactly that. It's a short and simple song, but it's also one of the main reasons I wanted to put this album out, and it's connected to another project which I'm working on, and one that I hope I'll be able to share soon. I think a big theme in the album and a lot of the songs is potential and following your path, whatever that may be for you. I think that potential is what makes you you, and it's following that journey wherever it may take you, and I think that's what I tried to put forward in this album. In a way, it was noticing my own potential in music and me trying to follow that. In essence is one of the earliest songs I wrote. It was at the end of high school when I was jamming with one of my friends and we were trying out some ideas. It's a song about being in the deep end really, and needing to learn how to survive in a world much bigger than the one that you're used to. Often in life we find that we walk out of one space where you've kind of been able to climb the food chain and you rise up, and then you get thrown into a space where we have to start all over again. The horns on the album are Jesse Julie's on tenor sax and Muneeb on trumpet and flugelhorn. Jesse has this incredibly wide range of tones which he can get, and is also a great vocalist, and I think that brings this real lyrical quality to his playing, while Muneeb has this more fiery sound and a really nice blend between the more straight-ahead American jazz tradition and Cape Town and African style. The first real time I got to play alongside Brathew and Damian, the first thing I noticed was just this effortlessness and how easy it was to communicate within the music. Brathew always comes with such an energy and has incredibly wide ears. He always seems to be able to glue together whatever's happening around him. He's able to create these beautiful landscapes as well as launching into creative and intricate lines. Damian has this amazing power to make everyone feels so comfortable and grounded within the music. He has such a wide palette of sounds which he's able to get out of the drums, and as well as such a knowledge of phrasing, and is really able to subtly guide the band wherever it's going. Also on the album, we have Masala on percussion, someone I hadn't really worked with before. But as soon as he joined in, he brought this different rhythmical element, which really added this other dimension to the sound. Bradley I've been playing with for probably the longest. We met when I started studying. We were both playing for a friend of ours project, and it's been really great playing with him over the years on different projects since. He has this beautiful blend of jazz and pop vocabulary, as well as being able to create these incredible soundscapes. Give Me Time, I wrote in a time in, I think it was the last year of my studies, and it's that time of just busyness and chaos really, and you're just trying to keep a handle on everything when you're trying to balance studies and gigs and life, and one thing happens after the next and you're still trying to figure out what happened 2 steps ago, and you have to just soldier through because you know the break will come at the end, but you just have to really knuckle down and get in the flow of things. What I really love about this band is that everyone kind of brings their own flavor and it all gels so well. I think that really made the difference in making the album what it is. They really took the music and put themselves in it, and I'm so grateful for that. Out of the Candlelight to me is about finding a way and seeing what you're capable of. It's also a song about inspiration and sharing your lights, your gifts. I find musicians, and myself included, can often get caught up more within the music, and it's easy to forget whatever music you're playing, what the impact might be on others listening. I think we all have a great potential inside of us, and we should try and listen to that voice more and try and follow those dreams.